Good morning everyone. I, Mrs. Bindu Gupta, PGT Commerce, am working in prestigious institution Army Public School Pathankot. My today's topic of discussion is Consumer Protection, Chapter 12 of Business Studies from Class 12th.
So, meaning of consumer protection refers to providing education to consumers about their rights and responsibilities and helping them in getting their grievances redressed. So, to protect the consumer, the government has enacted Consumer Protection Act 1986, which was one of the important steps taken to protect the interest of consumer. The provisions of Act came into force on July 1, 1987. Recently, this Act is amended in 2019. The main feature of this Act are: first, the Act provides for various rights and responsibilities of the consumers. Second, it provides safeguard to customers against defective goods, deficient services, unfair trade practices, and other forms of their exploitation. Third, the Act has provided three-tier redressal agency where consumer can file complaints. These are District Commission, State Commission, and National Commission. Next, why the Consumer Protection Act is important. The Consumer Protection Act is important from customers' point of view as well as for business point of view. So first of all, I am going to discuss the importance of Consumer Protection Act from consumer point of view. First is consumer ignorance. So consumer ignorance means the consumers are ignorant about their rights, the responsibilities, and the reliefs available to them. So the Consumer Act provides awareness to the consumer so that they can know about the various redressal agencies where they can approach to protect their interests. Second, unorganized consumer. In developing countries like India, consumers are not organized. There are very few consumer organizations which are working to protect the interest of consumer. Consumer protection encourages establishment of more consumer organizations. Consumer protection provides powers and rights to these organizations as these organizations can file case on behalf of customers. Third, widespread exploitation of consumers. Although nowadays consumer is kingpin of market, but there is lots of customers as businessmen use various unfair trade practices to cheat and exploit customers. Consumer Protection Act provides safeguards to consumer against such exploitation. Now the points of importance from businessman point of view. Number 1 is given in the screen. Long-term interest of business. Business uses society's resources, social responsibility, moral justification, government intervention. The first is long-term interest of the business. After the liberalization and globalization, the level of competition has increased so much that not only internal but businessman has to face international competition. In the race of competition, the businessman can win and capture a big share of market only when they are able to satisfy its customer by designing the product keeping in mind the requirements of customer. The businessmen who ignore the interest and satisfaction of customers lose their goodwill and clients. So, it is in the interest of business to keep its customers satisfied. Business uses society's resources. Businessmen use society's resources. They earn profit by supplying goods and services to the members of society. So, it must do something for society. Businessmen are merely trustees of resources. They must use these resources for the benefit of customers. Third, social responsibility. A businessman has social obligation towards various groups and customer is one of the most important group. It is responsibility of businessmen to provide quality goods at reasonable prices. Customer protection guides businessmen to provide social responsibility. Fourth point is moral justification. Traditionally, ethics were only part of profession, but nowadays ethics are part of business also. The ethics or moral values practiced by businessmen add glory to business. In today's environment, business without ethical value is not more than a criminal activity, and no civil society can tolerate and allow the existence of unethical business. Fourth, government intervention. If businessmen want to avoid intervention of government, then they should not involve in unfair trade practices. Government intervention may spoil the image of business. Businessmen should voluntarily involve in the activities which protect the interest of consumers. So this was all about the importance of Consumer Protection Act from consumers' point of view and from businessman point of view. Now are the ways and means of consumer protection. The consumer protection can be achieved by various ways and means. The few of those ways and means are as follows. First, self-regulation by business. Second, business associations. Third, consumer awareness. Fourth, consumer organization. Fifth, government. First is self-regulation by business. By self-regulating the businessman can do the consumer protection, such as by adopting fair trade policies, by providing quality products, by providing products at reasonable prices, not indulging in adulteration, etc. The government can achieve the consumer protection. Second is business associations. The businessman can form business associations to achieve the consumer protection. Then is consumer awareness. Now the consumer awareness is being spread by various government and non-government agencies so that the consumers are aware of their rights, their responsibilities, various remedies available to them. So by making consumer aware, the consumer protection can be achieved. Now consumer organization. In India, about 500 government and non-government organizations are working for the welfare of society and for consumers. Then is government. The government has enacted various laws to protect the interest of consumer, and Consumer Protection Act 1986 is one of the steps taken by government to protect the interest of consumers. Next are the consumer rights. Under Consumer Protection Act, 6 rights have been given by the Consumer Protection Act. First is right to safety, right to choose, right to be heard, right to informed, right to seek redressal, right to consumer education. First is the right to safety. The consumer has a right to be protected against goods and services which are harmful to life and health. These are the products which are having manufacturing defects such as pressure cookers, electric appliances and gas cylinders. Second is right to choose. The consumer has freedom to choose from a variety of products at competitive prices. The seller or the marketer, they should not pressurize the customer to buy a particular quality of the product. Customers should be free to choose the most suitable product from his point of view. Then is right to be informed. The consumer has a right to have complete information about the product he intends to buy, including the ingredients, date of manufacture, date of expiry, price, quality, direction for use, etc. The producers must supply all relevant information at a suitable place. The fourth right is right to be heard. The consumer has a right to file a complaint in case of dissatisfaction with a good or a service. For this, the three-tier redressal machinery has been provided under Consumer Protection Act, where the customers can go and file a complaint. First is at the district level, second is at the state level, third is at the national level. At the district level, district commission has been formed. At the state level, state commission has been formed. And at the national level, national commission has been formed. So at the district level, district commission has been formed where the complaints up to 1 crore or less can be filed. Second is the state commission, where the complaints for more than 1 crore and in between 10 crores can be filed. Third is the national commission, where the complaints of goods exceeding 10 crore can be filed. So the customer must be aware where he should file a complaint if the product is the value of 1 crore or less, then he should file a complaint in district commission. If the goods value is between 1 crore to 10 crore, then he or she should file a complaint in state commission. If the value of defective goods or deficient services is more than 10 crores, then the customer must file a complaint in the national commission. Fourth is right to seek redressal. So customer has right to get reliefs in case of product or service fall short of his or her expectations. Now various reliefs are available under Consumer Protection Act. First is the removal of defect from good, replacement of goods. Third, refund of price paid. Fourth, compensation of loss or injury suffered. Fifth, removal of deficiency in services. Sixth, discontinuance of unfair trade practices. Sixth, payment of adequate cost to grieved party. Seventh, State Commission. National Commission have power to declare a contract null and void if it is unfair, to issue the corrective advertisement to neutralize the effect of a misleading advertisement, then to pay adequate cost to appropriate party. So the customer must get the right to relief if the product or service falls short of his or her expectation. Then sixth, right to consumer education. The customer has right to acquire knowledge and to be well informed customer throughout his life. He should be aware of his rights and reliefs available to him. In the last point, right to seek redressal, I have explained all the reliefs available to the customer. So customer must have knowledge where he can file a complaint and what reliefs are available to him in case of defective goods and deficient services. So this was the explanation of all the 6 rights given under Consumer Protection Act. Next are the consumer responsibilities. So there are many rights provided under Consumer Protection Act. Various efforts have been made by government and non-government agencies to protect the interest of consumer. but exploitation of consumer will stop only when customers themselves will come forward to safeguard his own interest. Consumers have to bear some responsibilities which are given here in the slide. First is be aware about various goods and services available in market, and the heading is cautious customers. Cautious means conscious. So the customer while buying the goods and availing the services must be aware of various qualities in the product and various alternatives available in the market. Only then he or she should buy the product. Then second is customer must be quality conscious. So customer should buy only standardized goods and check for standardization marks. Various standard marks are given in the slide. First is ISI mark, FPO mark, BIS mark. Then is fourth mark is egg mark, fifth is mark with picture, and sixth mark is like a wool. So ISI mark is for durable products and electronic products. Food product bear the FPO mark, gold jewelry bear the BIS mark or hallmark, and agriculture product bear the egg mark. Then fifth mark with picture, it is the eco mark for the eco-friendly products. And then is given the wool mark. So all these marks show the durability and give the quality assurance. So whenever the customer they go to the market and buy a particular product, they should buy the products only bearing all these marks. Next, learn about risks associated with product and services. So the customer should follow manufacturer's instructions and use the product safely. Next is read the label carefully. The picture here showing is that the label should be read carefully by the customer because labels give every information regarding the ingredient, direction to use, date of expiry, date of manufacturing, the price, etc. So the customer should go through the labels carefully. Then assert yourself to ensure that you get a fair deal. Fair deal means the prices paid for a product should be equal to the utility of the product. For example, if you buy a simple product, the price will be less. If you buy a durable product, the price will be high. That means the price of product should be equal to the usefulness of the product. And the customer must ensure that they get a fair deal. Unduly high prices are not being charged by the supplier. And the goods are also not of poor quality. Next is be honest in your dealings. The customer must be honest in the dealing. Not only the customer, the supplier, both should be honest in their dealings. The next consumer responsibility is ask for a cash memo, which is going to be very important and foremost responsibility of a customer. Without the cash memo means bill of the product. Bill of the product is proof of transaction, which can be given in court as a proof of the sale or proof of purchase. If the customer is not insisting on the cash memo or if the customer hasn't taken the cash memo, then the customer is not able to file a complaint in case of defective goods and deficient services. So ask for a cash memo, and you know it is the responsibility of the seller or the supplier to always provide it for a cash memo, whether it is asked for by the buyer or not. Next is the file a complaint in an appropriate consumer forum. In case of shortcoming in the quality of goods purchased or services availed. So as I've already discussed, there is three-tier machinery. At the district level, it is district commission, state level state commission, national level national commission. So the customer must exercise his right. So we can give the heading that customer must exercise his right. Then is form consumer society. So the customer must form consumer society which would play an active part in educating the customer and safeguarding their interest. If the customers are scattered over various parts of country, then consumer society, they can file a case on behalf of the scattered customer. So customers must insist on forming the consumer societies. Next is respect for environment. The main thing is respect for environment. Environment, how the customer can save the environment. The customer can save the environment by asking for eco-friendly product. Customer should not consume those products which are polluting the environment. Only those products should be asked for by the customer which are helpful in safeguarding the environment. So the customer should respect the environment. Only then environment will respect us. Next is do not carried away by advertisements. Though the government is taking strict steps against those business concerned who are giving false advertisements or giving false information in their advertisement or exaggerating the advertisement or wrongly inducing the buyer to buy the product. But it is the responsibility of customer that he or she should not carried away by all the advertisements. While viewing the advertisement, they should also use their own brain how the product is going to benefit them. Only then go for buying the product. The customer should also see the economic condition. If the products are costly, then they should not unnecessarily run after the products for buying the products. So do not carry away by advertisements. Do not blindly follow the advertisements. Only buy the product as per the economic condition of the customer. If the product is necessity, then it should be purchased. Otherwise, it should not be purchased. So, from all the above discussed responsibility, we can conclude that though the rights are given in the Consumer Protection Act, but those rights will be useful only if these rights are exercised by customers. Now the customers cannot be unaware. The customer has to make himself or herself aware while going to the market. So while going to the market, the customer must behave like a aware customer. They should not purchase the substandardized product. They must check the risk associated with the product. They should learn the instruction and use the product safely. The customer must read the label carefully. And customer should be honest and should do a fair deal. Then customer most importantly should ask for the bill of the product. Unless he or she asks for the bill or cash memo, the customer is not able to file a case in the court because there will be no proof of the transaction, of the purchase or the sale. Then customer must know where they can approach in case of shortcoming in the quality of the product or the service availed. Then the customers must form consumer societies. Also, the focus should be on respecting the environment. If the environment is not respected, means the customers are not asking for the product which are the customers are asking for the product which are polluting the environment, then the customers are not respecting the environment. So customers should not carried away by the advertisements. The next is reliefs available to customers. As I have earlier discussed, the reliefs available to customers are remove the defect in goods, replace the defective product, refund the price paid, to pay a reasonable amount of compensation, to pay punitive damages in appropriate circumstances, to discontinue the unfair trade practices, not to offer hazardous product for sale, to withdraw the hazardous goods from sale. As we have seen that few years back, the Maggi has been taken by the company back because they have given information that lead content is there in Maggi. And then they have to give new advertisement with new product. They have to withdraw all the product from the market. They have taken all the product from the market back. Then they introduce new product with same name in the market but with complete information. So if the companies are offering hazardous product for the sale, they have to withdraw it if it comes in the knowledge of the government. Then to cease manufacture of hazardous goods and to desist from offering hazardous services. To pay any amount not less than 5% of the value of defective goods or deficient services provided, to be credited to the Customer Welfare Fund or any other organization or person. So every year the organization, they are supposed to create a fund which is named as Consumer Welfare Fund, so that if any case arises, they can easily pay the amount. So to issue corrective advertisement to neutralize the effect of a misleading advertisement, to pay adequate costs to appropriate party. So all these are reliefs available to the customer, and customers must be aware of all these reliefs. The last but not least is the topic role of consumer organization and NGOs in promoting consumer protection. As I have discussed earlier, there are 500 government and non-government organizations promoting the consumer protection. So how they are promoting the consumer protection? First, educating the general public about consumer rights. Educating consumers through various publications. So the NGOs are publishing periodicals and other publications to impart knowledge about consumer problems, reliefs available, and other matters of interest. Third, conducting comparative testing of consumer product. So NGO, they are conducting test. Time to time they are conducting test and they are checking whether the products which are offered to the customer are pure or not. And if there is any defect in the product, then the product must have been taken back from the market by the marketeer. Next is, and moreover these test results are published for the benefit of the customer. The next is encouraging consumers to strongly protest whenever necessary. That means using their rights. The NGOs and the government agencies, they tell the customer, they encourage the customer to use their right whenever necessary. Filing complaints on behalf of the customer. In India, the customers are scattered. They do not want to file a complaint against anyone. They do not want to indulge themselves in the legal proceedings. So these NGOs, they come forward on the behalf of customer to file the complaint. Then is providing legal help to customer in seeking legal remedy, such as providing legal aid, legal advice in seeking the legal remedy. Then is being protective in filing cases in customer courts in interest of general public. You must have listened about the PLI, public interest litigation. So being proactive means these organizations are always active in filing the cases in consumer courts in interest of general public. These organizations also help government agencies to resolve cases of consumer exploitation and to carry on consumer awareness programs. These organizations also help and motivate people to ask for quality marks such as ISI mark, AG mark, etc. So these are various points of role of consumer organization and non-government organization in promoting consumer protection. So the role of consumer organization and non-government organization is remarkable. They are contributing a lot for benefiting the society and benefiting the customers. So we have discussed in all these slides, and I'm going to recapitulate the topic. We have discussed the meaning, importance, ways and means of consumer protection, consumer rights, consumer responsibilities, various marks of standards and reliefs available to the customers, and then role of government and non-government agencies in protecting the customer. So on the basis of topic discussed, I am going to give the home assignment. So first question is explain the need and importance of Consumer Protection Act. Second, explain the rights of consumer given under Consumer Protection Act. Third, explain the responsibilities of consumers. Fourth, draw any 5 quality marks and label them. Fifth, what are various reliefs or remedies available to the customers? Thank you so much.